Okay, one more. Thank you for waiting patiently, and from a very important group, but they're not least at all. So we're going to proclaim April 24th through April 20th as Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Lucas County, and some of our leadership and staff from our 911 Regional Council of Governments. Who thought we'd ever be saying that years ago? But here we are. I think if we're going to recognize this, I'll give a nod to Matt Hireman on the end in the resplendent new suit that he wears so well. It looks great. I love the color. But Matt, I'll start by recognizing your work on this. It was hard. It was years. It was rough. But everybody seems to have survived it, and I think we're better for it. So it's really an honor to have this awareness and have folks here from the rooms that takes the call. We talked about people on the highway and imagining, people as orange barrels. It's a good visual. You'll slow down. We talked about we have community health workers, but you guys are working and they don't see you. Nobody sees you. You have to hear them more than they hear you. So really powerful work that you do. The only time they call is if there's trouble. Nobody calls on their birthday. Nobody calls on their wedding anniversary unless they're in trouble, right? And the strength and character and development you have to go in tolerance to listen through people and connect to people to do it. So we need absolutely coming today to give you some awareness. I think we owe you that. The unseen warriors behind every health and safety call there. And I recognize your director, Stacy. Thank you for bringing people with you, your staff with you, and I know you've been through it also to get to the point that we had. And let's not make this a fairy tale that it wasn't. It was work, right? And it was risk, and hopefully this is a reward. So once you get up, I'd like to introduce everybody and stand, and we can recognize you individually and as a group. But thank you. I hope that's the one call I never want to make on my phone. It's not that we don't love you guys, but I don't want to be calling you or have anybody else call on my behalf. So thank you for your work, and we're proud to recognize it.
Yeah, this work, I had a neighbor that lived behind me for a number of years, and when she started working for 911, she was concerned if she was going to be able to withstand the mental challenges that you have every time that you take that drastic call. And she made it through it. She worked many, many years and was actually retired from 911. I have only, I think about 3 times in my whole entire life had to call 911. And one of those, when I was heading southbound on I-75 and there was a wrong way driver heading right towards us. And they passed us, and my husband said, Lisa, call 911. We need to call 911. He gets his phone out and he goes, what's 911's phone number? But I think that's from the adrenaline that was going, because we literally just saw our lives go before us. I remember him saying, this is going to hurt real bad. And that's all he kept saying to me, this is going to hurt real bad, Lisa. But when we made that phone call, though, the person on the other end wasn't nervous, wasn't screaming, wasn't crying, as we all were in our car going nuts. That was the calm in our storm, was that dispatcher on the other end. And we really needed that calmness because of what we had just experienced. They calmly said, what is your situation? Have you been hit? No, we had not. Where are you? What was the color of the car? Do you know the make, the model? Can you get all that? Did you see all that information? I said, yeah, they came right beside me. I could have touched them with my hand out my window if I'd had my hand out there. That's how close we passed each other. Probably couldn't drive. Well, I know I couldn't drive very well after that experience. But what got me to the point where I could pull over to collect my thoughts was that 911 operator. That calmness in their voices. But also talking with my neighbor that worked for 911, though, we'd often talk about how do you deal with all that you hear on the phone, and then you have to de-escalate yourself and come home and greet your family, have dinner with your family, or see them in the morning because you're coming home from the night shift. And she always said that's very taxing. That's the worst thing on that job, is decompressing from that the experiences you've had during that shift. I thank you all for what you do, because it's critical that when that call comes in, that you can dispatch out, if it's fire, or if it's police or your EMS, that needs to come to that scene. You calmly take that information down and get them dispatched to that spot. So a lot of people don't know that an estimated 240 million 911 calls reach public safety telecommunications in the United States each year. I don't know if Stacy has the numbers or not, how many calls you all take on an annual basis, but I would say it's in probably the hundreds, if not thousands. So thank you for the work that you do each and every day. And yes, we celebrate you and thank you for that work in April. But I think that we need to tell you every day of every month of every calendar day, thank you.
Again, thank you for everything you do. I was fortunate to shadow you in the evening, and just to be calm and to type accurately and prioritize. It's just not actually talking, but it's prioritizing and then entering that information accurately into the system and then handing it over to someone else who then connects our police to go out. I want to come out again just because, again, value what you do and appreciate what you do and recognize what you do. And again, we need to continue to invest, in recruiting more individuals to help you. I know that some individuals are being forced overtime, but we are grateful for that your willingness to just work and serve our community. And again, I really am honored that I'm able to work with you, and I hope to help you in any way possible. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Stacy, you want to come up, say a couple words, and introduce us to your team here? Well, right after this. Oh, yeah.
And actually, Ralph Sheeran has a few words for us.
Yes.
Hello, Ralph. Ralph, what are you doing? We always remember Ralph. Ralph.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad. No,
That's
I think
good.
it's good.
That's good.
Yeah. Again, I'm Ralph Schuren. I'm Fire EMS Manager. And I'll introduce our workers behind us here in a moment. But I first want to say the Regional Council of Governments would like to extend our appreciation to each of the commissioners and their staff for taking the time to recognize an essential group of employees, professionals that are here today during National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. These professionals, they play a significant role in the public safety while ensuring that the Lucas County communities that we serve will receive the utmost care, level of care. These telecommunicators are first responders. That's how we see that. They have a wide range of responsibilities from receiving the initial call. And again, I appreciate you guys. You clearly have an understanding of what goes on. I appreciate you sharing that. So we have the initial call for help. We have dispatching the medical, the fire, and law enforcement responsibilities, as well as life-saving instructions that are provided by our EMDs. And that's done until the crews respond. While this is a very rewarding career, like other public safety departments, however, they also work 24/7, 365, and they're there whenever the call is made. And to the point that was made, you took some of my thing away, is that, again, people aren't calling us on, hey, it's a great sunny day, how you doing? No, they're calling, it's the worst scenario in most cases. It's often their first time. It's the worst scenario in their lifetime, even though it can be perceived by us as, it's not really that bad. So you got your finger caught in the door. It's not a big deal. But it's from that person. We have to treat that person with the utmost respect, professionalism, and calmness. So we thrive to do that. And so what I would like to do is introduce who's with us here today. As you know, our Executive Director, Stacy Mitchell, our Deputy Director of Operations, Brian Twining, and I'm going to step over here if I can. So we have law telecommunicator Keith Hiller,
Loki.
fire telecommunicator Jake Martin,
Jake.
Call taker Nikki Greer,
Hi, Nikki.
EMS telecommunicator Chris Rubel,
Hi, Chris.
and supervisor Vina Strong.
Hello. Thanks for coming, Dee.
And if I could just add, you asked about call taking. So they're taking over 1,400 emergency and non-emergency calls every day.
Ooh.
And they manage over 500,000 incidents at the dispatch level every year. So we, again, although it's 1 week of celebration,
Yeah.
we also are proud of them every single day. So thank you for acknowledging us.
Right.